Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had your Highness Prima smash that subscribe button, go ahead and have her smash it right now. We are knocking on 13,000 subscribers' doors. Keep pushing forward. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: DAUSHERRERO, Abuelitas Journey, GiGi, Gee, Chevelle, Marius, Michigan Wolverines, Jack, Jon Wick, Nova, Big Bad 48, Let Our Actions Lead Others, Miguel, Claudia, Fio, and AI Vega. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you tap in on the link below. So yesterday I was at Vaughn's, right? I was right there just doing my grocery shopping, and man, I turn and I look around the aisle. I see an old lady, right? Like a really old lady, like kind of like hunchback, kind of like shriveled up, right? And I'm like, man, looked like she possibly could have maybe or maybe not suffered a stroke, a real one or not, right? And my heart just dropped, right? It dropped. It dropped because I thought it was that old hag, the former chief deputy warden from Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. This episode right here is going to be about incompetence in the management in the California Department of Corrections, right? Wow. Wow, Hector. Damn, you got us, my boy. I know. So, Hector, what drove you out, right? What was the pushing factor, man? You come off as a solid-ass dude, right? Somebody that's mentally strong, physically fit, and morally straight. Well, yeah, exactly that. The incompetence became immoral and unethical, right? So what is the difference? What is the difference? Let me tell you the difference. Poor leadership, horrible leadership, bad management is everywhere, man. Everywhere. Trust me on that. Everybody knows that. Everybody could attest to that, right? But let's say you're working at, I don't know, Office Depot or Staples, right? And you got a bad manager. The worst that can happen is maybe like they tell you to stock so many envelopes one way high or make this many photocopies. Okay, now I got to make this many. Yeah, that's going to make you unhappy and uncomfortable, right? But it's not necessarily putting anybody's life in danger, right? And to me, that was the breaking point. When the incompetence continuously put the lives of people in danger, staff members and inmates, over and over and over again, right? And when brought to their attention, they didn't receive that warning with an open arms. They retaliated against you. They pushed even harder, right? They pushed me so out the door, they pushed me right onto YouTube, right into this chair right here. So here we go. I'm going to give you an analogy, right, of what it's like to work under management in the California Department of Corrections, specifically the lady I was just speaking about and that administration, and what above them was covering that up. Boy, they try to cover that up. All this happened in 2019, 2020, 21, right? It's 2023. Get on board, right? Get on board. Imagine you guys were in an operating room, right? And none of you guys have experience as being a surgeon or a doctor, right? And they all of a sudden slap a white doctor's coat on you and give you a scalpel and say, hey, here, go to town, right? Well, not go to town. Hey, doctor, perform your surgery. You're surrounded with professionals in the room, right? You got the nurses, you got the people that hand you stuff and that have been around the block, right? That have years of doing this. Anybody with common sense, right, would be, including myself, would be like, hey, guys, like, hey, they just put me in the hot seat right here. Like, you guys have been doing this forever. Either do you feel confident, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, you want to do this? Or maybe you guys can just guide me the whole way through because I do not know what I'm doing here. Right? That's kind of the common sense answer. Let me tell you about this type of management that I'm talking about, man. They will get the scalpel, right? And go, ah! And start dicing, slicing, ripping stuff out. And everybody's like, no, stop, stop. And they're like, get away from me. Get away from me. Get away. Right? And then when that person flatlines, they're like, oh, what did you do? What did I do? What the hell did you do, lady? Damn. Right? That is what it is like. I got some more analogies up my sleeve, but I'll save those. It is the doubling down, right, on the incompetence. It's one thing to get called out on something and recognize it and be like, oh, you were right, right? But their ego, their narcissistic behavior, their clouded judgment, their obsession with power, they really believe they are doing it. You guys are doing it now. Let me know. I mean, let me tell you, you guys are doing it now, right? Wow. So, that is when it became a problem for your boy Hector, right? When I could no longer stomach it right here in my gut, right in my heart, looking at my 4-year-old daughter and saying, no way, there's no way I'm going to participate or be anywhere near this, associate myself, associate my name with this mess, with this disaster. You ain't not going to create a train wreck and try to put my name or any good person's name all over it, because that's what they do, right? They go after the good people. The competent people, the people that are well-versed in policy and procedure, they feel threatened by this. Maybe you guys know more about psychology or physiology, right, than I do. But there is something to be said about people that feel inferior about others to the point where they just go nuts and absolutely lose it, man. They will sabotage the whole entire organization for personal gain. For selfish reasons. Wow, I could not stomach it, right? I could not stomach it. So how are they putting people in danger, Hector? Well, I'll tell you, man. I'm going to be straight up front. COVID-19 pandemic. Moving people around, right? And then I got my homito who's out on a workman's comp case right now. Wow. Wow, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When I would back these people up into a corner, right, and they would shuffle all the inmate population around, spreading the COVID amongst the masses, right? You got people dropping like flies. Poor individuals, man. Bam, 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 bam. Ain't nobody deserve to get uprooted and infected, right? Bam, 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 bam. So, when I try to back up my former homito with an email, hey, I'm like, hey, Captain, like, every direction from the top is very vague, confusing, and, you know, multi-directional, and they would double down. You would better do what I'm told, what you're told. You're going to be hit with insubordination. Make it happen. Make it happen. I'm making it happen, right? I am making it happen. Not listening to reason, doubling down, endangering individuals, right? What about the mixing of the non-designated, the SNY and the GP? Man, your boy pulled out a trove, right? I told you guys, go to my Patreon, sign up at the link below, right? And I'm like, wow, dating back to 2018, man. The writing was on the wall. The writing were in the emails. Go figure. And yeah, they made that policy, right, through a memorandum to mix the GPs and the SNY. But the moral thing to do would be like, no, like not gonna happen, right? Like not, you're endangering, literally endangering everybody's life. Not only the inmates, but they eventually turned on green. They eventually turned on staff. That was inevitable. Didn't matter to the managers much because they were up in the front in their desk, drinking their coffee and patting each other on the back, right? Even though they're doing a disastrous, horrible job, they're like, oh, good job, boom, good job, boom, good job, bing, bang, boom, right? Just throwing out some sound effects out there. Don't trip, right? So, With that being said, bang, 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 just another one, right? Just for good measure. I love good measures, right? I love protecting myself. I love protecting the people I work around with or used to, right? They couldn't stomach that. What I couldn't stomach from them, they couldn't stomach from me. And the only thing I was representing was good leadership abilities that I learned from my former army brothers that ended up getting killed in action in Iraq, right? Which is extremely sad, unfortunate, and just was devastating to me, right? And that's why I live the life that I live now. Pushing forward, giving back, preaching the difference between right and wrong. Apparently, nobody got the memo in elementary school or kindergarten. Hey, this is right, this is wrong, right? Basic. So the message for today is, everybody, the world is watching. You got New Zealand, Australia. Oh my God, I can't. Canada, the homie, never again. What up? I always be seeing you. You got everybody, right? We are in 2023. The game has changed. What's it going to look like in 2033, 2043, 2053? Somebody might even be dissecting this video to be like, look at that guy, right? Just do right. Just do right. Just do right. Right, wrong. Even if you do wrong, hey, I've done wrong. I've done wrong. I've done wrong. And somebody corrects you or somebody tries to guide you, pay attention. Pay attention, people. Keep pushing forward.